I'm looking at houses in a neighborhood that I really want to live in, and everything that I'm seeing coming up in my price range says it's a fixer. When I go through and I look at the pictures, what kinds of things do I want to look for to decide if it's a green light and I should take the time to go see it, or if it's a red light and it's going to be way above my expertise?
Okay, so question number 1 is, what is your cash on hand budget? How much money do you have to renovate a house? That's number 1. Number 2 that we would talk to you about is, what is your skill set? Can you tile? Can you lay floor? Are you going to refinish a floor by yourself? Could you fix some sheetrock? Are you comfortable, I know you are, ripping out a kitchen and putting in your own cabinets? How do you feel about that? And then there's the whole budget question of, I always tell people that you should hire a plumber and electrician. And so those would be 2 costs that I would not recommend you doing if there's moving light fixtures, all that kind of stuff. So those would be the 2 professions, but the question just becomes, what is your skill set? So there is no blanket red light, green light. But in general, I'm going to tell you that if bathrooms need to be gutted, not like, oh, we're going to put in a new vanity, but if bathrooms need to be gutted, I would tell you $15K a bathroom. And I know that seems crazy. You could probably do it for 10, and by the time you're done and you love it, it's going to be closer to 13. So for me, that's not even, it's just the prices of supplies right now. So in general, that would be two bathrooms is going to be $30K. Do you have $30K on hand? Refinishing wood floors is going to be about $4 a square foot. So you can do it for less if you do it yourself. You would rent the machine, you do it for yourself. But when you have those small numbers in mind, and you can begin to think of it, what's a kitchen remodel cost?
We're doing ours for $10K.
You're doing yours for less than a bathroom. Are you buying new appliances?
No.
Okay.
Without appliances.
Without appliances. Okay, I was like, come on. Okay, so without appliances, right? But this becomes the question of, how much equity do you want to build? What are you talking about doing? So if you personally were going to do a bathroom on your own, and you're going to demo everything, keep all the plumbing where it was, and then bring in your own vanity and your own shower, can you do it for 7? Can you do it for 6? Probably. I also am a big believer that whatever you think it's going to cost you, we've had this conversation about your countertops. Whatever you think it's going to cost you, you should add on 50%. Best case scenario, you don't have to spend it. Worst case scenario, it was in the budget. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about a fixer, you're talking about something that you don't know when you rip down those cabinets, that one wall, because your house is 100 years old, is still lath and plaster, right? Instead of it, they've sheetrocked everything, but oh my God, how did they not sheetrock here? So now you need 4 pieces of sheetrock, and now you need tape, and now you need mud, and now you need 2 extra days, right? And so that's the whole thing with what's a red light, what's a green light on a fixer, is that A, it's your skill set, B, it's what is your budget, and I guess the last one really would be what's your timeline. So I would look at those 3 things. I would also look at, are you getting a loan? Because if you're getting a loan, the house has to have walls, the house has to have a heating source, the house has to have a range, and it has to have walls, right? Like you can't just have studs sitting there. You can have a hole in the wall, but you can't have, I did that like someone punched it. You can have a hole in the wall.
You might have.
I was thinking more of like a door knob being pushed through a door. So you can have holes in the wall, but you can't have sheetrock missing, right? So you want to keep those things in mind of, really, it comes down to budget and skill set, and timeline. So I think that, you're asking valid questions, right? And those are questions that we get all the time from our buyers, which is why we do our buyer discovery calls, and really dive in to see what people want and need and help them discover what their own skill set is. I'm somebody who ripped apart a 3,000 square foot house down to the studs. During that process, if you ever bought a house with me during that period of time, you saw that I had like sheetrock pieces and like mud in my hair, because we did the work. We did the work, right? I learned how to tile. I have no idea. I didn't know I could put in subway tiles or octagon tiles.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we laid octagon tiles in bathrooms, and then I learned how to use a wet saw. I had to buy the tools. Then they got stolen. But I had to buy... Yay! So that's the kind of stuff that we talk about on the discovery calls, though, is where we'll sit down with someone for a half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half, and go over what are their skill sets, what are they willing to do. Sometimes people are willing to do floors, paint, and adding a deck. Sometimes people are really willing to knock out a wall, enlarge a kitchen, rip out carpets, put in hardwoods, and update and create like a master suite, right? A primary bedroom. And so that's the discovery call. And that's what we offer to people. So if somebody's interested in a discovery call, whether that's for now, 6 months or 9 months down the road, that's the best part about doing it, is doing it sooner than later. Drop a comment and we'd be happy to book a discovery call.